What's up, guys? Welcome back. Amazing RC. Brian here. Got the Grand Hauler out, and I've been working on it every few so oftens between the last time we talked and now. Now, the last time we talked, I kind of let you guys in on my future plans for the Grand Hauler. And we were talking about moving the MFC01 unit to a different spot so that we can get all the benefits of the MFC01 unit without losing our cab. If you guys remember, big giant speaker of death goes right inside the cab. Now, when I agreed to do the MFC01 unit at the very beginning, which was donated to me, I didn't realize that I wasn't going to get the cab. And the cab is very important to me. I want to light the dashboard. I want to do a bunch of cool stuff inside. I want to light the whole cab inside. I want to have drivers. And my buddy from Blitz RC, man, out in Australia, he got a hold of me and he's like, hey, check it out. You can move that speaker in the back. You don't have to do the bob deal up front and all the kind of crazy stuff that goes on up here. You can go ahead and invert your MFC01 unit, the ESC combo, and slap the speaker on the back of it, and it all will fit up here in this section. And it really looked great. But I've decided to take that a step further. I am going to delete the MFC01 completely. In the very, very beginning, before I even got this, I was offered the MFC01 unit because it kind of goes with this. You know, the hardcore guys, they put the MFC01 in. You get all the cool sounds, the hookup sound, you know, the air brakes, the suspension, the engine noise, of course. You know, you get that whole thing, plus it runs your lights. You know, you got blinkers and stop and reverse lights and everything. You know, it just runs it all. What it doesn't do is run the trailer as far as lights. And I was like, okay, well, I can extend some wires, no big deal. Then the speaker got in the way. And I was like, okay, well, I can move the speaker. To be honest with you, I'm going to remove it for now. I still have it. It's over here in the corner. Rainy day MFC01 action. But for now, once I got it to this point right here, I realized how compact I can get a 4-channel setup in this giant space back here, in this cab. This is a 3S setup. I've got it actually on a Tamiya. It's one of those brushless / brushed ESCs that comes with one of these kits, you know, either the lunchbox or the holiday bug. It comes with one of them, and I have that hooked up in here, and I'll tell you right now, super smooth with the RC 4-wheel drive motor up here. Super smooth, super quiet, very impressed by it, and of course it handles my 3S battery. The reason I wanted the big giant 3S battery, I want to run the entire rig, all the 12-volt lighting, all the lights underneath, all the regular LED lights, all the inside cab stuff, all of that, including the rig, with one battery. When I had this all set up before, I was going to have a battery underneath the trailer to run all the lights under the trailer. Then I was going to ponytail the lights from the trailer itself to the lights into the MFC01. Then I was going to have, you know, 2 batteries up here, one running the 12-volt lights underneath, one running the MFC01, because that's going to be nickel metal hydride. You know, you can put a LiPo on the MFC01 unit, but it's not really a great idea because you got to really pay attention to that battery because there's no shutoff on the MFC01 unit. And I'm not into like breaking the MFC01 because I'm an idiot and I put the wrong battery on it. So, like I said, I'm going to delete that all on one battery. All this is completely hooked up. Everything works. Everything runs. And it's super compact. So far, I've got my RC4GS by Radiolink. This is the V3 4-channel. We're going to run 4-channel. And I'm still going to get 96% of everything that the MFC01 unit was going to do with less wires. Remember, I've got a light out in the tail, in the bumper back here. I got to figure that out still. Not exactly sure why I got a light out, but I got a light out. So I got to chase that down. The ESC and receiver, I've got the R7FG dual antenna receiver in here. You can see two little antennae sticking out. All that's underneath. I still have this entire top plate to work with. So I can do dual on-off switches up here. That's 4 separate channels of on and off that I can have with lights through the entire thing. Go ahead and pigtail the lights from here to the back so I can light everything up on here, because what I plan on doing is, be there with me, I've got one of these little tiny RC modules, the LED module, and we all know what a bunch of these cool little modules can do. This one does reverse lights, brake lights, headlights, and turn signals. You actually got two inputs here. One is for your Y cable for your motor, one's for your Y cable for your ESC. And that basically allows this to know, and your lights to know, what you're doing with this. You turn one way, you get your blinkers. You turn the other way, because I'll tell you, when I had the dual stick, transmitter, if I wanted to turn my blinkers on, I'd turn my blinkers on. If I wanted to honk the horn, I honk my horn. If I wanted to, everything was a toggle switch and everything. And I figured it out. I've been doing this a long time. But to be honest with you, I really wanted my pistol grip. But this is what I use, and I know that you can use it. I want to be able to use this, but not lose a bunch of what the MFC01 gives you. Well, here's the lights right here. So we're going to have, even on the side of the trailer here, remember, I did LED lights all the way down this trailer here. I went ahead and drilled and tapped new holes for my uprights, for whenever I want to put my uprights in. This is going to have blinkers. The whole entire side is going to blink with my blinkers that are actually up here. The brake lights, the reverse lights, I put multiple extra reverse lights in the back bumper on the trailer, as well as the rig itself. Those are going to be nice and bright. I'm actually going to have some kind of I've got two 10mm LEDs, big goofy bright white LEDs. I'm thinking about putting them probably in the back of the cab here to shoot over the headache rack of the trailer, or in the trailer headache rack itself, to light the entire top of the deck. All that should be able to be run off this, as well as two separate on-off switches. I should be able to run both 12-volt sets of ground effects lights. They're blue. I've got probably 12 LEDs, 12 blue LEDs for the bottom of the rig, and I think 18 blue LEDs for the bottom of the trailer, which are already installed. I'm going to have that on an on-off switch. The interior cab is going to be on an on-off switch. I got 4 channels worth of on-off switch. They can all be run with my 4-channel rig here. Now, the only thing that we don't have is sound, and I can even get that. About $40. I can go ahead and get a sound module that'll be any rig I want it to be. Volvo, Mac, all of them. It's got all of you. Just go right on your computer, you program whichever one you want the truck to sound like, and you go ahead and put in. That gets hooked up to your ESC, your throttle, all this stuff, your blinker, everything's on there, just like the MFC01 unit. Now, the vibration module, I was going to take that out anyway. Everyone told me that most people don't run the vibration module in this because it just shakes the truck to bits. And man, I'll tell you what, that thing shakes the truck to bits. I even had this small weight inside of it to make sure that, it wasn't going to, run the bolts out sideways. But it did anyway. It was just way too much. Even adjusting it, the thing was nuts. So hats off to Tamiya for the cool shaky thing. I'm also going to get the smoke, maybe 1 or 2 smoke modules for the stacks. I got so much room in here I can hide all that. Those smokestack modules are big. They're like the little box itself that makes the misty smoke. It's like 3 of these stacked on top of each other just for the box. Then you've got the tube, then you've got the wire going down to the ESC. I got plenty of room for all of that now. I think that I should be able to do everything I want on the 4-channel radio link. We're going to find out, because that's kind of where I'm going now. As you can see, I've got my driver in here. To be honest with you, I almost feel like this is a 14-year-old kid sitting next to him. This is another driver I had for my 1/24 scale die-cast rig that I made up, but her legs don't fit, and I really don't want to break her in half, so I might just have her sit shotgun in here. She looks great. She looks like a little 14-year-old kid. And then, of course, I've got my other driver right here. So far, that's where I'm at, guys. I'm still figuring out where I'm going with the paint. That's why I haven't done anything yet. I kind of want to get things like this installed. This needs to be painted with the truck. because I'm going to do something crazy with the paint job. I'm thinking matte black and gold, as far as like matte black and gloss gold. But I want to do something crazy, all Aztec-y with some cool light lines on it. But I'm going to do a lot of matte black. It's going to have... I'm probably going to do, you know, gold and another color and just completely panel this thing out. The whole entire thing, trailer included. And then I'm going to matte black over it to accentuate the panels. You know, basically like putting matte black on the lunchbox. So I've got, but I wanted to be able to sit back and see it first. So we're getting really close to paint. I also want, like, you know, the interior and everything to kind of match what's going on with the outside. So that's where I'm at right now. I did a ton of work. I'm very excited. Everything runs great on the 3S battery. Oh, the other thing I did, I went ahead and locked the transmission. Now, Tamiya is really cool about the transmission with a little extra piece. I know you can't see it. It's over here. With a little extra plastic piece, you can actually take the 3-speed transmission. You can either lock it in middle gear, high gear, or low gear. With the 50 whatever turn motor and the 3S power, it's got some serious juice to it. So I went ahead and locked it in low because it's got no business being in second gear or third gear. So now I don't even have to worry about switching gears. When I want to, I just go ahead and plug the servo back in, put the little linkage in, and unlock it, and I've got gears. I can go ahead and do that on this if I wanted to. Not necessary. It's just another thing. There's so much going on with this truck. It's just another thing to worry about. It was just like the dual stick. It was just so much. You know, you got everything to learn, and then you can hit a toggle switch, and you got to learn everything again because they all do something else. Everything did two things, and it was just too much. For me, it took the fun out of it. I want to drive this thing. I want to be able to back it into teeny tiny little spaces. It's going to light up, it's going to blink, it's going to make noise, it's going to do smoke, it's going to do all that. But I want to be able to drive it too. And I'll tell you right now, when I had the dual stick, and I had it out in the kitchen for about 2 hours, and I ran it into everything. Backwards, you know, trying to back the trailer. This by itself was fine, but trying to back it up with the trailer, man, I was all over the place. I went ahead and threw it on the old pistol grip, and I had a chair out there, and I was parking this thing backwards with the trailer in the chair from like 3 different directions. I was doing circles backwards in exact perfect circles, learning how basically to go ahead and turn, set your angle, and then let go of the steering, and it will perform that perfect circle with the trailer. It will not move. It will not budge from that circle until you do a little tiny something. Then it will adjust a little bit in the front and make a larger or smaller circle. Once I had that figured out, man, it was like those parking semi-truck video games. I was all over the kitchen. I had a ton of fun, and that's kind of what I want to do with this. So that's where I'm at right now. Got the 3S power, got my drivers in, thinking about paint, getting real close to paint. Because before I go ahead and throw all the chrome and stuff on here, I'm going to have to tape this thing off. I'm going to have to get it, you know, get all these little lines. I've watched Bob's videos, you know, shows to get these little lines, you know, that I guess the molds have in them. Go ahead and knock those off. Otherwise, you're going to see them through your paint. But be prepared for a matte black and gold and something panel, you know, just old 70s style panels. I don't know why I wanted to panel something, and I did the lunchbox, and I almost got the effect I wanted, and I feel like that was my learning thing, and now I'm really going to lay it down for the Grand Hauler. Really appreciate everybody stopping by. Happy Mother's Day to all your moms. I already wished my mom a happy Mother's Day, and my neighbor, hi Mama Bear, wished her a happy Mother's Day as well. So if you haven't done that yet, it's late. Do it now. I'll see you guys again with another really cool video very, very soon. Until then, it's Brian, Amazing RC.